Welcome to Weaving Mosaic. I'm Farai.
And I'm Colleen Mujikwa.
Just to give you guys a short insight as to what we do. We discuss current affairs.
We discuss diversity.
Culture.
We discuss human rights.
And arts. Now, before we go any further, I just want to thank everybody who tuned in for our last show. The Africa Fashion Show went on to do their event. It was amazing. So is the Edmonton Natural Hair Show. It was amazing. A lot of people attended. I'm going to send it to you.
And just to let you guys know, if you have an event that you'd like for us to advertise or are interested in being on the show, you can contact us at weavingthemosaic@gmail.com.
Today we also have a good show coming up. We have guys from the Diaspora African Youth Association. We have...
we have Tresor, Sosina, and Gerard here with us. So please stay tuned.
Welcome back to Weaving Mosaic. On my right is our first guest, Gerard Mutabazi Amani. He is the president of Diaspora Africa Youth Association and also the writer and editor of the Humanity Seed. Welcome to the show, Gerard.
Thank you very much for having me this great day.
Gerard, please tell us and the viewers a bit about yourself.
As you mentioned, my name is Gerard Mutabazi Amani. I was born in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's a country situated in Central Africa, right in the middle. You cannot miss it.
Yeah.
And I've been here in Canada for the past 8 years, and I'm very proud to be active in the community, whether it's volunteering or attending conferences or helping fellow young people.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, I see how you're much more, into like things with the community, and with your background, like, how is like your roots from your country, like, how do you transfer that here in Canada, and how is it, working to put together people?
Okay, for sure. As a proud African, I believe that wherever I am, I have a duty and obligation to represent.
Yes.
So, and that's why as a organization in the Diaspora African Youth Association, we believe very important in culture, tradition, and the history. Educating each other where we come from, and because when you are proud of who you are, of where you come from, then you are more able to integrate in the community that you are in, and then you are able to get yourself involved in the community, are able to help and support wherever possible. And also in that way, once you know where you come from, you can also know where you are going. So it's very important for young people, to be very proud of the culture and the roots, no matter where they are in the world, just to remember who they are in order to work on what they want to be.
Okay. Gerard, what are some of the challenges that diaspora youth face on a day-to-day?
On day-to-day, I think one of the challenges that most organizations have, or most people have, it's just in terms of commitment, of people, right? Sometimes, levels of commitment, might be different, so maybe the way, one member is highly committed and ready to take on any task and any challenge, or ready to help wherever possible, the other member, might maybe waiting to be pushed or waiting, to be asked a lot of time, not just on one request, right? So I think that's really one of the challenges, sometimes we face if we have, such as maybe planning activities in the community, or we are being invited, to certain, events or certain conference, just, everybody being very excited and enthusiastic, in terms of representing and being part of everything that's happening.
Oh, just like a quick, rundown of some things. Like, there's, stereotypes, like happening in the world. With you involved with the youth and, like the general community, like what are some of the stereotypes you have come across, it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be African American per se.
For sure. For me personally, the reason that I really love being involved in the community is, especially here in Edmonton, you don't see many young Africans, involving themselves in society matters, right?
Yeah.
For example, there have been a lot of meetings in the past which I have attended. Either I'm the only young people in the room, or either I'm also the only of African descent. So I guess the perception here in the community, and also I guess in most places where people are, most people of African descent, they tend to isolate themselves in their own holdings.
Yeah.
So whether people are from Ethiopia, from Congo, or from Kenya, most people tend to just stick with their countries and their culture, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's not much integration in the community. So that is one stereotype which sometimes holds true, and it's up to us really to change that and be involved in the society.
Very insightful. Yeah. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Weaving the Mosaic. We're going to be continuing our discussion with Gerard Tabazi Amani, President of the Diaspora African Association. And this time we'd like to discuss Humanity Seed, if possible. Gerard, could you tell us a bit about Humanity Seed? Yeah,
for sure. So Humanity Seed, it all started as a class project when I was studying business administration at NAIT. For me, I love to, whether it's in school or the community, I love to see, if that thing can possibly continue, or if it can be beneficial to me. So Humanity Seed, I was taking a class called social media marketing. So in social media marketing, the instructor, one of the assignment was to create a blog. And then every week we had to blog about a chapter that we were reading for that assigned week. So, when I was thinking about a blog, the blog name, and then when I was also thinking, well, I love writing, I've always, I love that kind of, creative thinking and sharing with others. So that's how Humanity Seed came about. So I decided, the name of my blog for that school project will be humanityseed.com, which was registered on WordPress, and then everyone could do blogging for the class project. But and then when the class finished, I decided to buy the domain name. So instead of becoming humanityseed.com/WordPress and that and this, I just decided to be humanityseed.com. So because I wanted the experience to continue of writing and sharing with viewers, with young people and others from around the world. So I've been very fortunate to write about the journeys that I've taken in some youth conferences around the world, whether it's here in the community.
So on your blog, the main theme is go local before you go global.
Oh yes, yeah.
I would really want to know what are some of the local stuff that are gonna go global.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. It's very interesting you bring that part, because for me, as someone who believes in change, as someone who believes I'm a global citizen of this earth, but also at the same time, I realize, where I am based at, Yeah. For example, there's this saying, if the best way to do change is to start at home, right?
Yes.
There's a great quote from Mother Teresa, said, love starts at home. So that's what, for me, it means, as someone who recognizes Edmonton here in Canada is my home, I have to be involved and active here in the community, before I can achieve my aspirations of being involved, whether it's across Africa or around the world. So that's why, I go local before global. Commit yourself to causes in the community, whether it's women issues, children issues, any activities that's happening in the community, dedicate yourself to those, instead of just dreaming to volunteer or helping around the world, but volunteer and help in your backyard.
Okay. And quickly, Gerard, what does the future look like for you guys?
The future, that's an interesting question. The future for Diaspora African Youth Association, we hope to continue going and continue building. Especially this year, we're hoping to start a big project, which we are in planning of 2018. We are hoping to take a trip down to the motherland and choose maybe one or few African countries where we can start a sustainability project and help fellow young people on the ground. So organization-wise, wise, we hope that future holds community-wise, and also for me, just continue building and growing in terms of helping humanity.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, Gerard, thank you for joining us on the show. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned. Up next, we'll be interviewing Tresor and Sosina. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Weaving Mosaic. Our second guest is Tresor Faraja. He is the VP of Information at the Diaspora African Youth Association. Welcome to the show, Tresor.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, I'm very grateful to be here tonight. And it's an honor to meet all of you guys.
Yep.
As you said, my name is Tresor Faraja. I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. For those who doesn't know it, it's the big Congo in the continent of Africa.
Yes, there's two of them, right? Yeah, there's Congo, Brazzaville, and then
Congo, Kinshasa, yes.
Okay.
I'm from the Kinshasa one.
Oh, okay.
And actually didn't grow up there. I grew up in Tanzania instead.
Oh, really?
In a refugee camp.
Oh.
And from there, we immigrated to Canada in 2008. And I started my high school here. And I also went for college. I went to NAIT for a degree in finance. And I'm privileged to speak 3 languages.
Oh.
I speak French, Swahili,
Oh.
and now English.
Wonderful. Wonderful. How was that transition when you arrived from Africa to Canada at age 16? That must have been a completely new experience for you, no?
Well, it's pretty new. You know, you just get into a country that you basically know nothing about it. But I know they do seminars and all that, but everything, once you reach here, everything is new and you need to adjust. So you need to learn a new language. As for me, I didn't speak any English, so I learned all the English here. So it was challenging. At the same time, it's fun. You need to keep learning in life.
Like this, you know, when you were introducing yourself, there's something you mentioned that you were actually in a refugee camp. Like, how was that experience? Like, you know, being in that, you know, situation or position. I don't know how to like really word it, but how was that experience from then and to where you are now?
Well, that's how I grew up. I was still growing up. I remember we left the country when I was 4 years old, and we spent 12 years in the camp. And
12 years?
Yeah, so all my childhood, it was spent in the camp. And I wouldn't say it's easy because, you know, you're fleeing from a country where there's war and civil war is going on, and you need to go somewhere else, start a new life. So it wasn't easy. It was hard for my parents as well, I believe. So, but we're grateful that we made it here in Canada.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Tresor, you've attended several youth conferences. You say through the community, through your schooling. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. I have this belief in youth that youth have this energy of coming together, and everyone has their own desire and energy to do something. So I'm usually amazed to see or to go to conferences that there is a lot of youth.
Yeah.
So in that case, we need to share ideas. We need to share the visions of what we're all dreaming to do in the future. So all of this conference that I have attended, I'm just passionate with that energy. And obviously the outcomes that comes after when youth come together.
And Tresor, quickly, how do youth get involved with the conferences that DIA attends?
Well, as a DIA, that's our aim from the beginning. We try to empower, engage, and connect African youth that are still here in Edmonton, and try to make them be as a role model within the community. So, with that being said, they need to serve the community and also be able to help other people.
Okay.
Thank you, Tresor, for being on the show. For more information on Tresor or Gerard, you can go to the DIA website at www.diasporaaya.org. We'll be right back.
welcome back, viewers. This is our last segment, and in this segment, we have a beautiful lady on my right. Her name is Sosina, and she's a member of the Diaspora African Youth Association, and as well as a dancer.
Welcome to the show. Could you tell us a bit about your background?
Sure. Thank you so much, guys, for having us, first of all. So my name is Sosina. I'm originally from Ethiopia. Moved to Canada 7 years ago with my family. I'm currently a student at Grant MacEwan University. And I'm also a passionate member of DIA.
Okay. Now, as a member of DIA, what is your involvement with the organization?
Well, I've been involved since the beginning. Since we started this group, which later registered as an organization. I've been involved in coordination, being part of events, and mainly in charge of the social media and communication.
Wonderful. So, Sosina, we understand that you are doing a dance for us today. How long have you been dancing?
Since I was born. No, I'm just kidding. But I've been dancing in schools, some events, and mainly started dancing in high school. I went to St. Joseph High School here in Edmonton, and we had the Taste of St. Joe's, which is like a mini heritage every year. And I started dancing there and during heritage as well. So.
Just like real quick, like, you know, in short, like, you know, what do, like, you know, youth out there have to do, you know, or, you know, try to get into the Diaspora African Youth Association? How do people access it?
It's very easy. I would say just go like us on Facebook to begin with. Come to one of our events. Check us out. Personally, being part of DIA has opened a lot of doors for me. So just contact us through the Facebook or Twitter as well as our website.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I guess we are going to take a quick break, and we are going to, for the viewers, watch your dance.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to our show. Like we just gonna try to find out from Susina, what was that whole routine about, the whole dance routine? It was pretty amazing.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it's called eskista, meaning dancing shoulders in Amharic. It's from the Gondar region in Ethiopia, northern part of Ethiopia. It's originally from the Amhara ethnic group. Yeah, it's one of the iconic and popular dances in Ethiopia. And yeah, Ethiopia is a very diverse country, so this is just one of the dances.
Okay, wow, it was a pretty awesome routine, and thank you for such an insight on some things we've never seen before.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy to represent and be here. Yeah.
Also, we'd like to say thank you to Tribal Textiles and Murray Katz for our background pieces. Murray Katz can be reached at 780-686-8777.
And finally, I want to say thank you to the guys from Dyer, Trezor, Gerard. Thank you guys for joining us today. And also I want to thank Q Pro Studios for handling some behind the scenes stuff for us. And most importantly, I want to thank Show TV staff for making this possible. That being said, that does it for today. Thank you for joining us. Till we meet again next time.